We have been talking about CISOs talking to the board, talking to the C-suite at great length on our show. I just did another video about this as well. And this is a very kind of obsessive topic, I'm going to say. And it really kind of all boils down to how well is the explanation of the risk and how well can it be sort of quantified in some manner. Where are we falling short on this discussion?
So what the CISOs need to be able to do is put that risk in terms of the mission of the organization, be that a bank, a hospital, or I do a lot of work with scientific research projects, right? And they're not talking dollars and cents, but they're talking about science impact, science integrity, and other aspects like that. Whatever business that CISO is in, they've got to learn to talk the language of management and be the translator between that business mission and the cybersecurity risks.
So that's a really interesting take, because I've heard a bunch of different things, like you just need to talk the language of the person in the room, and it's always good to bring just straight down to dollars because that's something everybody understands. But you make a good point that there's different assets that people understand the value of, and if you can quantify the risk around that. Can you sort of walk me through a non-financial risk discussion?
Yeah, absolutely, because if you can quantify down to dollars, that's great, but that's not what a lot of businesses or organizations deal in. So let's take, for example, an astronomy research project. Their goal at the end of the day is to impact humanity's knowledge about the universe we live in. That means they need to have an operating instrument that is not being taken down by malware at the moment that two black holes decide to collide. They need to have trust in the community about the data that comes out of it. That data needs to be available. People need to know it wasn't messed with to do Bitcoin mining instead of astronomy. And then they need to be able to sort of have the support of their user community. The scientists that use that, people need to know, hey, this was a trustworthy instrument.
That's a really good point right there. I like that. So what are maybe some good examples of how you've seen CISOs evolve, I guess, their risk discussion? Because nothing goes black, nothing goes from 0 to 100, right? So how does that evolution begin, if you will?
Yeah, so it's a good question. At the very bottom, the CISO's talking about bits and bytes and something going wrong. Maybe the next step up, you're talking just about the users of the computer system being happy or unhappy. I think availability is a common one into this. It just wasn't there. Then you start evolving up the stack and you start thinking about the things that your CEO or equivalent, what keeps them up at night? The nightmare scenarios. So you start getting to the point of, hey, you're not going to be able to achieve your ultimate mission of producing this scientific result, providing healthcare, patient services. You start talking about the things that are meaningful to them. And the layers, then you get successively closer to that, further from the technology and more towards the mission of the organization. If that happens to be dollars, you're in the banking sector, great. Your healthcare, that's patient data. If you're in government, it's government services in your constituency, serving a city, for example. If you're in scientific research, it's producing good science.